Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Feraphic, and this is World of Tanks. And today, I'm going to be showing you my brand new German heavy tank. One of two Tier 9 heavy tanks in the German tree. This is the E-75, which comes from the Tiger II and leads to the E-100. The other German Tier 9 heavy tank is the VK 4502 Aus B, and I feel like this is probably the better tank because the E-75 is, I feel, quite a bit more versatile than the VK. The E-75 has gun depression, it's pretty fast for its weight, the armor is very good, and it just seems a whole lot more flexible. But like I said, this is my first game, and I don't really know how much to side scrape, or what kind of an angle I need to be at, and I over-angle. I've only played this tank a handful of times on the test server, but those few times were pretty fun. Although I wasn't sure exactly, how it would be on the live server because people tend to fire a lot more premium ammo on the test server. So the test server is not really a good way to judge armor of a tank. And I've hidden my lower plate, but they can still hit my cupola, so ideally I would be side scraping, revealing the right side of my tank so that my cupola would be covered up by a rock or another solid object, making it harder for them to damage me. But if I were to do that, then I would be exposed to the Jagdtiger, who is on the hill in front of me, across the river. But the enemies seem to be more than happy to come to me, so I'm more than happy to shoot them as they do that. T-29 will basically, well, very rarely do any damage to me, unless he loads premium ammunition. And I can see that this E-75 and Centurion both have their turrets turned away from me, so I'm able to put in a nice shot onto the side of the E-75's turret. And I don't have any shots on the E-75. The Jagdtiger disappears, but there's their artillery. And unfortunately, I get a low roll, and was unable to finish him off with that shot. This is not the top gun of the E-75, this is the Tiger II's top gun, the 105mm gun, with 225mm of penetration and 320 alpha damage. Now, I've loaded up quite a few premium rounds in this tank because of the lowish penetration of the gun for a Tier 9, and I want to be maximizing my experience from the damage I do. So I don't want to be bouncing a whole lot, because I really want the top gun of this tank, which is a 128mm gun. And here, I actually didn't notice that the Jagdtiger was dead until just now, which is why I'm not really too keen to go out. But now that I've noticed it, I don't mind sitting out as much. But there is still the enemy artillery. However, I figured he would have located to the other side of the map, or somewhere where there's more cover, basically, and enemy tanks wouldn't be rolling in on him. Not sure what this Centurion was trying to do coming up there, but I am able to finish him off. And then I charge down the hill at this unfortunate AMX M4. looking to the side here to make sure that the Object 704 doesn't have shots on me, which he does not, so I feel relatively safe. And here the enemy artillery tries to ambush me, but he fires and hits the dead Jagdtiger. And now this AMX is just completely screwed. His best option would try to be run me around this rock for a while and make me ineffective for as long as he can. But he decides to come out and take a shot at a side-scraping E-75, which doesn't work out too well for him. And now we just mop up the rest of the enemy tanks, basically. E-75 isn't terribly fast uphill, but once it gets going downhill, or even on flat ground, it can really pick up speed. I can't wait to be on the top of the hill with an enemy below me, because I really want to ram someone with this tank, because it is quite heavy. And it does move pretty fast downhill. And now there's just one enemy left. I figure I'm not going to get a shot on him, so I decide to sit in the cap circle, and maybe, just maybe he'll come to me. But he actually does pull out in front of me. I'm surprised I hit that shot, because I let it, I think, a little too far for the speed he was going. But it ends up going in. And I pick up 4 kills and a little over 3,000 damage. I get my first class mastery badge on my first game and a steel wall. This was a 3 times weekend, so that's why my experience was so high. It wasn't actually an amazing game. I feel like I maybe could have done more damage if I had the 128mm. But I still have a little ways to go on that grind, so for now I'm stuck with the 105. But I finished top on damage and on experience, which is nice. Fired 16 shots, 14 of those hit and 12 penetrated. I dealt 3,331 damage, and I took 12 hits. Of those, 2 penetrated, and 1 was splash damage, and 10 bounced, resulting in potential damage received of 3,850. I even managed to do a decent amount of spotting damage while I was up fighting that corner. Well, not really corner, but the hill. I'm really liking the E-75 so far. I think it was definitely worth the grind. I know some people dislike the tanks that precede the E-75, like the Tiger, for instance, because they feel it is pretty weak. I don't really remember that much of my time playing the Tiger, but I don't remember hating it. I don't think I loved it, but I guess I was kind of indifferent, actually. I don't think it's a bad tank, though, in my opinion. And the Tiger 2 was fairly effective as well. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy the video, and maybe I'll catch you next time.